DIY candles 3 ways.
Hi guys, I'm doing a little DIY. It could be for really anything, and I'm kind of practical magic inspired right now because I want to have a lot of candles around that don't look too macabre. Actually, I'm going more green, which less spooky this year. So if you don't know what mercury glass is, this is mercury glass, real mercury glass. I think I got those from World Market. They have kind of like semi-see-through property, metallic. Here's a finished result of the faux. So this is much cheaper than real mercury glass. It turned out really well. That's my first one. So it's like the easiest DIY in the world. And what I'm doing is you can save any glass container will work. Maybe I know glass does. These were yogurt containers. I will link the yogurt that I eat and what I eat. So I just saved these to make tea light holders. They're the perfect size for a tea light, real or fake. So this is how easy this is. You take the container. I'm using Rust-Oleum. You probably should do this outside or with a mask, but I'm just doing this real quick for the purpose of this video. And you definitely want to have newspaper down or something to protect your table or surface, from this. So you just take this, you give it a good little, I shouldn't be touching it, let me tip down. Boop. Can you see? Like on my blouse? There we go. There we go. You just give it a good little, I do it inside and outside. I go light on it, right? So I do that. Now it's all coated in gold. It's hard to see without getting paint all over me, but coated in gold. So quickly, before that dries, you take a spray bottle with part water, part vinegar, and you just spray it. You spray it, and those beads kind of take some of the paint off, giving it that kind of see-through thing. I like to dab it like that too, with a little paper towel. Like that, it gives it that effect, and then you go in and do it again until you get the desired result. I think this one's a little too see-through, so I'm going to go in again, and it does cling a little differently with the vinegar on, or you can just do a little dabby dab like that, and it takes some of it away in areas like that. So see-through. This one's semi-see-through too. I'm just going to dab a little bit more. I'm going to add a little bit more paint, a little dab, a little paint, a little tap, a little paint. More paint. I'm going to spray one more time. This one needs a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to spray it again. I've seen people do this just with water too, but I think the vinegar helps cut through some of that paint. I think that's going to be good as is. I'm just going to dab a little bit more, not too much, just a little. You might just want to dab in areas, not the whole thing like I've been doing. There we go. Now it's got that mercury glass look about it. I will show you guys when it's done, all lit up in another video. Stay tuned. Okay, I want to do a couple more different kinds of ways you can do some DIY with tea light holders for Halloween or fall or whatever you want. Mine are kind of fall themed. I've got my handy dandy Mod Podge here. Everybody says Mod Podge because it's more fun to say what it is. Mod Podge if you want to be fancy. Maybe that's a Mandela effect. Anyway, I'm going to do a stained glass looking tea light holder. I will link these. This is from my yogurt, like I said before, and I'm just gonna take my little Mod Podge. I don't need a ton of glue, so I'm just using so not to do more dishes, I'm just using the lid and a little sponge. So what we do is we take our little thing and we coat it wherever we want to. You can do the whole thing, or if you're fast moving, I'm just gonna do it in sections. So I just took a little Mod Podge, that, and then we take our little cut up tissue paper. It's so simple. And we just layer the heck out of it. So there's a green one. I just had green, orange, and red ones handy. You can use whatever you've got left over. This is a great way to use the torn up tissue paper. Kind of see how I'm like layering in your, what's it called? Where your wrapping paper is. So you just kind of want to overlap stained glass. You could also cut these into shapes if you have like shape cutouts or punch hole thingies that make shapes like leaves. Fall leaves would be really pretty. I feel like this needs some purple. I have to get some purple. And so then after you've got that going, just keep going in sections. So I'm just gluing a little bit more and adding a little bit. Gluing, adding, like that. And just make sure it's on there nice and tight. And I'll show you guys towards the end when I have it done. And then you go over the top, but I'll show you. Okay, get it at a good stopping point here. So don't be afraid to layer. Like layer, and layer some more. I'm missing a red. I need some red in there. There, boink. So you're happy with it. So don't be afraid to layer. You do want it really layered, one on top of the other. That's the beautiful thing about tissue paper. You take a little Mod Podge. This is why I like using the sponge kind. You can use the paintbrush kind, but the sponge kind is great for when you're dabbing. This dries clear, guys, so don't be shy. Like, go ahead and like smear it on. You can smear it with this one, and you can all smear it. You know, I say smear because it's fun to say. Or you can dab it like this. And this just gives it a beautiful clear coat. And it makes it dry so that all of this is down, and it's like, you know, permanent. It's permanent. And then this dries clear. It'll give it a beautiful, absolutely beautiful glow when you have a candle inside. These actually are really cute. They turn out cuter than they look right now because it dries clear. And they make a great little host gift to add, you know, with a little ribbon around it or whatever, and a little tea light in there, a little host gift to give with some flowers or some food gifts or wine or something. And I will do a third one to show you, and I'll show you all of them, how they turn out when they're done. So that's idea number 2 for how to DIY a little tea light. Thanks for watching. Hi guys, so this is my part 3 of DIY candle holders for tea lights. I'm pulling the fairy lights out of the first 2. So the first one is a mercury glass look, so look for that video. I'm gonna do my nails after this so I don't mess them up. It's a faux mercury glass. And then the second one was our like stained glass looking one with tissue paper and Mod Podge. Third one is one that is of my own creation. I've never seen anyone do this, but I used to have this tea light holder that had stars and projected. So I thought, what if I did one like this? All you have to do is get those stars. I had a bunch of stars from different sticker packs from scrapbooking, but you get the ones that the teachers make for kids, like Gold Star, you know, for school. Cheap sticker packs. I like to do them kind of equally-ish apart for the projection. You can do them really uniform or not. I just stuck them all over, and then I'll show you. Okay, so I picked 2 paint colors for my acrylic set. I've picked violet and ultramarine. I'm gonna mix them together here to make kind of like a purpley, dark purpley indigo color, like that. Kind of starry night. You could do this in black just as equally as gorgeous, but I thought, let's go a little bit more on the whimsy goth versus goth side, since we'll do other really gothic things for Halloween. This is more whimsical practical magic. So you just take that container and just paint right over, directly over all the stars. They will get peeled off, and it will create that effect that makes a projector. I'll show you when it's all done. I'm just painting the whole thing over. Okay, I painted the whole thing. Now you let it dry. And make sure you get the rim of it too, so it's pretty. I hope you enjoyed these and got some great ideas for DIYing your own candles. Thanks so much for watching.